that's over. That's canceled. Was going to do it. It's not. Just forget about it. Now to get right into the facts. Napoleon Bonaparte was a French military leader born on August 15th, 1769, who had grown up in Corsica. That's pretty sick if you ask me. He had a hatred for France his whole life. Napoleon had loved his mother with a passion, though, and even said that his mother had the head of a man, which means that she is not only beautiful, but she is also smart. He, however, had a love-hate relationship with his father. He had often called him a traitor when he found out that he was a member of the French Parliament, despite their Corsican heritage. He was pretty edgy and probably be the type of kid to run away if his mom took his Xbox. In 1778, Napoleon had a scholarship for a military school where he was sent to France against his will and was taught for 5 years non-stop. No holidays, no visits from family. That must suck. I wonder if he at least got to take naps. This caused Napoleon to isolate himself and become more of a lone fighter who thought he had no allies and he was on his own. He was promoted to a military academy in Paris when he was 15 and began a soldier apprenticeship when he was 16. Don't you dare try and fight him. He can raid your crops in Minecraft. It took Napoleon 3 years to rise to power, although he was involved with the military for over 20 years. He is known as a military genius and one of the finest commanders in history. I mean, the other guys were cuter, but he was really vain and self-absorbed. He fought 60 battles, losing only 7. I can only imagine the tantrum he threw when he lost one. Probably like a kid who doesn't get their toy from Walmart and has to be dragged out by their mom, and they cause a scene, and it's too much. Napoleon had rose to power after Maximilien de Robespierre, the made French revolutionary leader who was known for sending people to the guillotine, had been beheaded. That's pretty ironic. He got wrecked. Within Napoleon's reign, he had declared himself emperor and used nationalism to rise to power over the course of these 3 years. This eventually inspired everyday citizens to attempt to rise to power just like this outstanding general did. This is when the well-known French Revolution had taken place.
The French Revolution was a period of time from 1789 to 1799, when the Third Estate and people of France rose up against the government of King Louis XVI. The government wasn't doing its job to help the people, as there was economic hardships, such as heavy taxes and the unfair social system. There were 3 estates at the time, the first being the clergy that were the least affected, second being the nobility that wanted to progress in the social hierarchy, and the last estate, and the most important to the French Revolution, were the Third Estate, who made around 75% of the population and were the most angry at the government, because they received the worst mistreatment of all the estates. The citizens took up arms by taking over the Bastille, an armed fortress, and tearing it apart brick by brick. After the coup that overthrew the government, the Reign of Terror began. This period of time lasted from 1793 to 1794, when mass panic, riots, and fears spread through France that the government was going to kill people for the coup. The Reign of Terror killed over 40,000 people, mainly in the city of Lyon. The reign ended when Maximilien Robespierre was executed by the guillotine. As they say, you live by the guillotine, you die by the guillotine.